Queen of Spades, show yourself. Those were the last words Emma spoke before her life changed forever. She called, and something answered. Welcome to the Hidden Path. Today, I'm going to tell you about the Queen of Spades ritual, a game that started as a dare among Russian schoolgirls, a summoning that promises answers to your questions. But here's what they don't tell you. She always answers, and once she does, she never really leaves. Let me tell you what happened to Emma. She was 17. It was a Friday night sleepover, the kind where girls stayed up too late scrolling through urban legend forums and creepypasta websites, daring each other to try things they shouldn't. Someone found the Queen of Spades ritual. The instructions seemed simple enough, almost too simple. Draw a door on a mirror with lipstick, knock 3 times, say her name 3 times, ask your question. Emma's friends chickened out, but Emma didn't believe in this stuff anyway. Ghosts, spirits, rituals, all nonsense, right? So she volunteered. She'd prove it was fake. They gathered in the bathroom at 11:47 p.m. Emma drew a crude door shape on the mirror and red lipstick. Her friend giggled nervously behind her. She rolled her eyes, raised her hand, and knocked. Once, twice, 3 times, then she said it. Queen of Spades, Queen of Spades, Queen of Spades. Show yourself. Nothing happened. Her friends exhaled in relief. Emma laughed, wiped the lipstick off the mirror, and they went back to watching movies. But at 3:33 a.m., Emma woke up. Her phone was on the floor. Her bedroom door, which she always kept closed, was wide open. And in the darkness of her doorway, she saw a silhouette. A woman in an old-fashioned dress, pale face, dark hair, standing perfectly still. Emma blinked. The figure didn't move. She reached for her phone to turn on the flashlight, and when she looked back up, the doorway was empty. Just a dream, she told herself. Just her imagination playing tricks. But when she checked her phone, there was a text message from her own number, sent at 3:33 a.m. exactly. It said, "You called, I came." That was 3 months ago. Emma hasn't slept through the night since. So who is the Queen of Spades? And why does calling her name trap you in something you can't escape? The legend comes from Russia. Depending on who tells it, the story changes slightly, but the core remains the same. She was a noblewoman, beautiful, wealthy, admired by everyone who saw her. But she was also lonely, obsessed with fortune-telling, and desperate to know her future. She consulted every mystic, every card reader, every fortune teller she could find. And they all told her the same thing. She would die young, lone, and forgotten. She refused to accept this. So she made a deal. With what, the stories don't agree. A demon, a spirit, death itself, the details blur, but the result is always the same. She gained the power to see the future, to answer questions, to know things no mortal should know. But the price was steep. She did die young, and she died alone, and she was forgotten until someone decided to call her back. The ritual appeared sometime in the late 1990s, spreading through Russian schools like wildfire. Then it jumped to online forums, creepypasta sites, TikTok, now it's everywhere. And here's the thing people don't understand. The Queen of Spades doesn't lie. When you summon her and ask your question, she will answer. She will tell you the truth. But truth has a cost, because once you invite her into your life, once you acknowledge her existence, she doesn't leave. She lingers. She watches. She waits. And the more you try to ignore her, the worse it gets. So how do you summon her? How does this ritual actually work? I'm going to tell you, not because I think you should try it, you absolutely shouldn't, but because understanding the ritual helps you understand why it backfires so catastrophically. Here's what you need: a mirror, any mirror, but it needs to be big enough to see your full face. Red lipstick, the color matters. It has to be red, a dark room. Most people do this in a bathroom at night. And time. Specifically, you need to do this between 11 p.m. and 3 a.m. The later, the more dangerous. Here's the process. Step 1. Stand in front of the mirror in complete darkness. No lights, no candles, just you in the mirror. Step 2. Draw a door on the mirror with the lipstick. It doesn't have to be perfect, just a rectangle, a crude outline, a door shape. Step 3. Knock on the mirror 3 times, not hard enough to break it, just firm, deliberate. 3 knocks. Step 4. Say her name 3 times. Queen of Spades, Queen of Spades, Queen of Spades. Then you add, show yourself. Step 5. Ask your question out loud, clearly, something you desperately want to know. Will I pass my exam? Does he love me? When will I die? Then you wait. Some people say you'll see her face appear in the mirror behind you. Others say you'll feel a presence, a coldness, a certainty that you're not alone. A few claim they hear a voice, soft and distant, answering their question. And then once you have your answer, or once you've scared yourself enough, you're supposed to close the ritual. You say, Queen of Spades, I release you. You wipe the lipstick door off the mirror. You turn on the lights. And theoretically, it's over. But here's the problem. It's never over. Remember Emma, the girl who did the ritual as a joke. After that first night, after the text message from her own number, things escalated. She started seeing the woman everywhere. Not just in mirrors, in windows, in photographs, standing in the background of her Instagram selfies, even though no one was there when she took the picture. Her friends stopped believing her. They thought she was pranking them, or losing it, or looking for attention. But Emma knew better, because every night at 3:33 a.m., her phone would buzz. A text, always from her own number. Sometimes just a single word, soon. Other times, answers to questions she never asked. He doesn't love you. Your mother is lying. You'll fail. And the worst part, the messages were always true. Emma tried everything. She deleted her number, changed phones, smashed the mirror she'd used, moved to a different house. Nothing worked, because the Queen of Spades doesn't need mirrors to find you. The mirror is just the door. Once you open it, once you call her name, she's already inside your life. And here's why the ritual always backfires. You can't close what you've opened. That final step, the one where you're supposed to release her, it's a lie. A false safety measure to make people feel like they have control. But you don't. You never did. When you summon the Queen of Spades, you're not asking for a favor. You're making a trade. Your question for her presence. Your curiosity for her attention. And once she's paying attention to you, she doesn't stop. People who do this ritual report the same patterns. Vivid nightmares about a woman in old-fashioned clothing. Paranoia. The constant feeling of being watched. Unexplained scratches, usually 3 parallel lines appearing on their skin. Technology glitches. Phones acting strange. Messages from their own numbers. Calls that connect to dead air and heavy breathing. And worst of all, the truth she reveals. Because the Queen of Spades answers questions, but she answers them cruelly. She tells you things you didn't want to know. Things that break relationships. Things that ruin futures. She doesn't lie. But truth delivered without mercy is its own kind of curse. Emma? She stopped posting on social media. Stopped answering her friends' calls. Last anyone heard, she checked herself into a psychiatric facility, claiming a woman in Victorian clothing was following her, whispering secrets, telling her how everyone she loved would die. The doctors diagnosed her with paranoid schizophrenia. But Emma knows better. She called and something answered. So let me be very clear about something. If you're watching this and thinking about trying the Queen of Spades ritual, don't. I don't care if you think it's fake. I don't care if you want to prove it doesn't work. I don't care if you're just curious, because curiosity is exactly what she feeds on. The Queen of Spades doesn't care if you believe in her. She doesn't need your faith. She just needs you to speak her name, to open the door, to invite her in. And once you do, you'll spend the rest of your life wishing you hadn't. There are some doors that should stay closed, some names that should never be spoken, some questions that don't need answers. The Queen of Spades is all 3. She's listening right now, waiting for the next person to call. Don't let it be you.